Hi everyone, I am the Sarcastic Sloth, and welcome to my channel. So today I'm actually going on a bit of a rant. You noticed from my thumbnail that it's in regards to Def Noodles, and you might be thinking, what's my problem with Def Noodles? Well, the truth is, I haven't actually got a problem with Def Noodles yet. It's actually in regards to how YouTube have treated Def Noodles of late, and how he has basically found himself to be in a bit of a precarious position with YouTube and the way his videos are going. You'll have to forgive me too, because also it's a bit of a weird one really, because it's actually been preying on my mind. I went to bed at 2 and I've woke up at 6, and when I woke up at 6 it was to pop to the loo, and since then for some reason I've been thinking about how much this has annoyed me, so strap in, we'll see how this goes. Let's crack on. So as per usual, everything I'm going to be talking about in today's video are my own thoughts and opinions on the subject, so if you don't like that, then ta-ra! The reason why Def Noodles has found himself in a bit of a precarious position is because a lot of his videos have been demonetized as of late. And I know what you're thinking. Def Noodles? He seems like someone who's very, inoffensive, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. I love his videos. I think he's a really nice guy. I don't know him personally, of course, but I'm just going from what I know in terms of how he is on Twitter and how he is on YouTube. But he seems like a very inoffensive guy. In fact, I would go so far as to say, out of everyone in the drama and commentary community, he's probably in the top 3 most inoffensive, quite frankly. He goes out of his way to make sure that he reports everything from an even standpoint, and I think this is probably why this has annoyed me so much, because it's not like there's anything that's really self-evident, like, oh, this is why this particular situation has occurred, this is why this is happening. There's certain creators where these kinds of things crop up and you think, well, of course, mate, it was only a matter of time. Def Noodles, I can honestly say I didn't think so. So let's get caught up, eh? So a few of his videos have been demonetized, and have been demonetized by human reviewers. What does that mean if you're not privy to how YouTube works? It basically means that someone has physically gone in there, reviewed apparently your video, and deemed it to be against YouTube's guidelines of terms of service, and therefore not up for monetization. So if a human reviewer goes in there, you usually think, well, at least this is more than a machine. A machine would just do a cursory look, a passing glance. A human reviewer must have to go in here and actually look at it with some detail. You'd be wrong. Videos of Def Noodles that have been demonetized are, again, very inoffensive. 2 of his videos were demonetized by human reviewers over hateful content. So the definition of that, as it's written, is content likely to offend a marginalized individual or group. Ooh, well, that sounds pretty horrible, actually. So what videos could this be about? What kind of group is he marginalizing? Well, they're Karen videos. They're videos about Karens, which is hilarious because he actually goes on to explain in the video that they're not a marginalized group of sorts, but it's actually a behavioral trait, which I think we all knew that, really, between you and me. Ridiculous. But wait, there's more. That wasn't the only reason for those videos to be demonetized. It was also cited that they were demonetized for sensitive issues. What would that entail? Well, I'm glad you asked. I will tell you. Recent events dealing with war, death, or tragedy. After this video, if you're not aware of Def Noodles, I don't know why you wouldn't be. I think you need to get your head out your ass if that is the case. Go to his channel and just pick a few of his videos at random, totally at random. They don't have to be recent. They could be at any point. I think you would be hard pushed to find anything matching these descriptions. You really would. What's also annoying about this is he's one of the few commentary/drama channels who actually writes jokes, like actual jokes, like comedic jokes. He actually has done some background in stand-up comedy as well. So it's sort of annoying that this is a person who's actually worked on his craft, as opposed to, the rest of us who are just basically starting off in our bedroom. People like certain things about us, and then we sort of hark on with those particular aspects. And this sort of it mirrors what I said in my Creepshow art video as well, where they had a human reviewer for one particular video of a friend of mine. I'm not going to say his name, who's a creator on YouTube. They checked his video, human review, manually reviewed 13 times, and it's just the ineptitude that I'm getting sick of now. It just seems to me like, again, it's sort of as and when I'm winging it. I'll see how I feel on that day and how I'll interpret the rules and apply them to whatever videos, because I'm sure you can find plenty of videos on here that are monetized that fall under those characteristics. And yet someone who is I think he's nearly got 500,000 subscribers, so he's not, he's no small potato in any way, shape or form, is getting this kind of hassle. It's just bizarre. And then he also did a video on Dr. Phil, so reacting to a Dr. Phil clip. The original video was monetized on YouTube. And again, it was recent events dealing with war, death and tragedy. For Dr. Phil, I mean, I guess you could, if you were really wrangling it, I guess you could call it a tragedy of sorts. But come on, man. Really now? Really? I keep having to say this for this particular subject, but it's embarrassing, dude. It's so embarrassing that this is the case. And what annoys me, right, so let's sort of take the example into retail, okay? So say I went along, I bought an item and it was £20, but they took £30, right? And I went back and I said, hey, you've taken £30. I would get an apology, and I would get and there would be like some look as to why that occurred in the first place. There wouldn't be just oh, did we? Oh, fair enough. Well, deal with that. Suck on those eggs. It's just a weird system at the moment that doesn't make any kind of sense in my mind, because it changes all the time, and it's completely dependent on how many subscribers that you have. So if you're less than 100,000, you do it. If you're more than 100,000, then you get maybe some kind of help, but not really that much. You might actually be able to get through to someone after a lot of begging and scraping. And then if you're in the millions, well, then you've got someone comes along and kisses your ass and tells you everything will be okay. It's just very weird to me. What exactly is going on? Who are these human reviewers? What training are they receiving? Another aspect of the Def Noodles video that really annoyed me was he was reacting to a Bryce Hall incident where Bryce Hall, he got into a fight. So he's commenting on that for the sake of not wanting to have any violence. So this sort of speaks to who he is as well and what kind of channel he wants to have. He wants to have a more wholesome channel. He blurred the fight. YouTube comes along with its human reviewer and they say that it's down to, it was demonetized for sexual behavior, language or expressions, blurred or censored nudity. He blurred the fight. He blurred the fight. If someone was actually checking that, literally a human reviewer was checking that, then they would have seen that. It's basic, it's obvious to see. So what are the tools that they're using to check this? I know that they receive a lot of submissions every single day. Not disputing that. That's not to be disputed whatsoever, right? It's a bit nerve-wracking for someone like me who's wanting to actually keep doing this to the point that maybe I will get monetized, because you think, well, is it just down to whatever that person is feeling that day that you might get monetized, you might not? Because after a certain amount of demonetization, after you've been made a partner with YouTube, they take that away. So it's concerning. It is very concerning, and it's very concerning that this has happened to someone who, like I said, is a very by-the-book YouTuber. It's very rare that in fact, I can't think of a single time where he's just kicked off about a situation. He makes jokes about a situation, and again, they're not risque jokes, they're not edgy jokes, it's not edgy humor, man. It's just absurd. It's absurd. What bummed me out about that video as well is that he was genuinely concerned. I haven't seen him that concerned since he did a video where Kavos was sort of rating his content, and you could see his feelings were hurt by the things that Kavos was saying, because Kavos doesn't care what he says. I saw that again. I hadn't seen that for quite some time, but I saw that again with him. So I just hope he knows that the people within the community that know him and know of him are with him on this particular aspect of things. It's just a shame. It's just a shame that he's been put in this position. So it's weird. It's weird to me. It's sad. It's saddening. It's angering. It's obviously kept me up. And it's for a multitude of reasons. Just because he's a nice guy, and then it's also as well because it's concerning. It's concerning for me. It's concerning for other creators that I like and that I enjoy on this platform. And I know there's this line of thought that they're cracking down on commentary and drama channels of late, but I think they need to recognize that a lot of YouTube's popularity comes from that. I think originally you had the Call of Duty commentary where just, obviously people were just talking about their thoughts and opinions on things whilst having Call of Duty being played in the background. It's been there since that YouTube has been gaining its popularity in terms of creators coming in and not just random videos. So yeah, it's concerning. It's something to keep our eye on at least, but I just sort of wanted to get this off my chest, as with all of my rant videos. Tell me what you think about it down in the comments below. Go over to Def Noodles Twitter and YouTube and show him some love, man. I'm thinking that maybe he's thinking that he's on thin ice at the moment, and I certainly hope that's not the case. There's way too many cynical commentary channels out there, and it's nice to have someone who's like quite bright and happy, tells it like it is, but also does so in a comedic spin, as opposed to the rest of us bitter gits on here. So like, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and yeah, stay safe out there.